We're back in Rimmington today. This is the second part of Citizenscape's journey in Rimmington. So if you haven't seen the previous video, make sure you watch that one first, then return to this video so that you're all caught up. Let's do a quick reminder of the goals we still need to accomplish in Rimmington. We've completed our mining, fishing, cooking, woodcutting, firemaking and fletching grind so far. We've also made all of our purchases in the local stores and completed our other miscellaneous tasks. Today we'll need to raise our farming level up to level 22 to plant a cadaverberry bush. We'll also need to raise our construction to level 20 and build a bedroom. We have a few combat tasks also. We'll need to kill a goblin, rat and an imp. We have killed a few imps already in the previous video, but we'll be continuing to do that whenever we see them, as the people of Rimmington told us last time that the imps have been stealing from them. The final thing we need to do is complete the Witch's Potion quest for Hetty. So today we're going to start our farming grind. If you've watched the previous video, you may remember that we started our grinds for this video at the same time as our grinds for the last video. This bush patch is the only farming patch in Rimmington, and it has a level 10 farming requirement before we can start to plant anything in it. I asked Taria, the farmer here in Rimmington, if she has any farming advice. She tells me that plants need water, so she mustn't think very much of me. She also let me know that if I do plant something in this bush patch, she can make sure it grows for me for a cost. So can you sell me any farming equipment?
I can sell you a rake for 15 gold coin.
Oh, I don't think I have that much.
Well, come back when you do.
Okay, so I'm pretty poor right now. I haven't reached a point where I have any money just yet, so I'll have to come back when I have more money. I'll be selling fish for coins in the meantime. Alright, I have some money now. Could I buy a rake, please?
Sure thing.
Alright, so we raked the patch and I got a total of 12 experience. It's going to be a long way to level 10. I asked Taria if there's a better way and she suggested that I go up the road and talk to Sarah on her farm near Falador. Apparently she has some empty patches and doesn't mind others using them. Sarah has a whole farm, so I thought I'd ask her for some farming advice as well, and see if she might be able to give me a little bit better advice. Okay, so that wasn't really helpful. When I asked around, I discovered that I can use the weeds I rake to make compost for later. I raked all the weeds here and it was just enough to fill up the bin. So I'm going to need to start with planting potatoes. I don't have any seeds right now, so I'm going to have to get some. I've heard that Olivia in Draenor Village sells seeds, so I buy a bunch of potato seeds from her. I'm still low on funds, so I can't buy very many. I also buy some marigold seeds, as marigold will protect my potatoes in the future. When I return to the farm, the weeds have grown back. This does mean that I can get a little bit more experience, which does give me level 2 farming. This means I can grow my marigolds at the same time as the potatoes. I water them as advised, and now we need to give them time to grow. Let's come back later. So I've come back from a quick stopover in Lumbridge with Adventurer John, and the farmer's a disaster. My marigold's dead. I clear them and plant a new lot. I'll have to be more vigilant this time. My potatoes are diseased also. I saw plant cure in Sarah's shop earlier, but it costs 40 coins. I don't actually have that much right now in total, so it looks like I'll have to wait for these plants to die before I can replace them. Okay, so my first crop of potatoes have grown. I also managed to keep the marigolds alive this time. Now they'll protect my potatoes just by being here. I do also manage to get level 3 farming. Okay, so my first batch of compost is ready. I've made a little money in this time and was able to buy a bunch of buckets for compost. The experience from this should be pretty nice. Let's fill this back up for later. Alright, my new potatoes are ready. That's level 4 farming. Okay, I'm very close to level 5 farming, so let me rake the bush patch real quick, and that will get me to level 5. With that, I can grow onion instead of potato, so that will be a bit of experience boost. The marigolds also protect onions, so I don't have to worry about them becoming diseased while I'm away doing other tasks. Unfortunately, I'm all out of money, so I can't afford the seeds. I've started to make friends with the people in Rimmington, but Anya and Hengel both have pickpocket options. And there's a weapon just laying around here in the house. No, we're a good citizen, we'd never resort to crime. We'll have to get money elsewhere. While I have no money, I'm curious, how do I get a house? How do I get a house?
I can sell you a first home in Rimmington. How does that sound?
Perfect. How much?
1,000 gold.
1,000 gold? 1,000 gold. How was I ever going to earn enough for that? I sold everything I had. That emerald I found while mining, a mere 35 coins. Things seemed hopeless. Okay, so I was asking around trying to work out how I'm going to start my construction grind with no gold, and some of the villagers told me that the wilderness has stuff just lying around which I can collect and sell if I want to risk the dangers of the wilderness. Here's the plan. I make it out to the Ferrex Enclave where it's relatively safe. I pass the barriers, avoid the zombies, pick up the planks that are just lying around, collect the weapons, get away from the zombies, pick up the bones and the iron bar, make it back to the Enclave, restore my energy, bank the goods, pop worlds, repeat. It was brilliant. I was knocking out so many birds with one stone. I was able to collect planks for construction, goods to sell, bones for prayer, and smithing material for later. Eventually I stopped hopping worlds and this dropped the number of goods I could pick up, but the bones and planks could be collected every single run. I managed to collect 100 planks and 80 bones, as well as a few new weapon and armor upgrades, notably the iron medhelm and iron dagger. I also collected a steel dagger, but without 5 attack I can't use it just yet.
Can I tell you about my Lord and Savior Zamorak?
Sure. Who's that?
Only the one true God.
The one true god?
All power to the almighty Zamorak.
When they'd calmed down a bit, they told me that there's a temple dedicated to Zamorak in the wilderness where my offering of bones could carry more favor than simply burying them. My adventures here had been pretty safe so far, so that sounded like a good plan. They showed me on my map where I needed to go, and I headed out with a stack of bones. Looks like I'm not the only one out here. I ran into some really nice people who must have received the same advice. They congratulated me on so many levels achieved as I quickly rose up the ranks to level 9 prayer. Strangely, some bones were just sitting on the floor nearby at the altar. Struggling with supplies and money up to this point, I decided that it's best to use them up. By the time I'd offered up all of my bones, I was level 16 prayer, nearly level 17. This seemed pretty good for now. It looks like my no waste policy has rubbed off on others too. As I was heading out, I noticed wine on the table. I don't know the religious tradition of Zamorak, but it would be rude not to drink wine if it were offered, so I took a sip and... Zamorak, no! Well, now I'm in Lumbridge. I don't know how that happened. There's a priest near the altar, maybe I'll ask him. Hey, I'm new to the Zamorakian order, so what's the deal with the wine?
It's display only. The Dark Lord doesn't like when you steal from him.
The who now? Yep, that's right. All this time, I thought I was sacrificing to the one true God. Now they tell me he's the Dark Lord. I think that's enough prayer for today. Well, now I have money and planks. How are the crops coming along? Okay, now I can plant onion seeds.
You got any guam?
No?
Take this potion.
Okay? That was weird. After my wilderness expedition, I have some better weapons. I need to wait for my plants to grow, so I think I'm going to help out Brian. I'm going to start by getting rid of the rats that seem to have infested his shop. Well, now I'm level 5 attack. I can wield that steel dagger I found in the wilderness.
You sure solved those rats fast. Hey, you wouldn't mind clearing out the goblins that have been raiding from here to Port Sarim, would you?
Sure. So I set out with my new dagger in hand. I could sell this. I kid you not, the second goblin in and it drops a beginner clue. Of course, Citizenscape doesn't know what a clue scroll is and doesn't know who Charlie and Brock is either. I'll hold on to this anyway and it may be useful in the future. Okay, seriously, 2 kills later and I get another clue scroll? This time an easy one. With the medium one that we got last episode, we're starting to rack them up. This one wants us to search a tent in Burthorpe, but we don't know where that is. And I still don't know what a clue scroll is. We'll hold on to it, but we can't do it right now. Alright, my onions are ready. And there's level 8 farming. Back to goblins. We found this book dropped by one of the goblins. They have a written language and culture. Are we the baddies? In their book they mention that the goblins are a warlike race, happy to die in the service of their god. Sounds a bit extreme to me, but I don't feel so bad about killing them now. Besides, this warband were disturbing the people of Rimmington, so it's for the best. It seems like I did fully decapitate this one though. War changes people. Okay, so now that we have at least level 5 in each of attack, defense and strength, Adventurer John would like to see us. He has a couple more rewards for us as thanks for defeating all these goblins. With our new weapons and armor, I should have no trouble taking out more goblins and imps. On the way back, I was attacked again by a highwayman. This one was dealt with in no time. And there's level 7 attack. So I killed this imp on the way back to Rimmington and I dropped this black bead. Nobody from Rimmington claimed to own it, so I'm going to hold on to it for now. It seems special in some way. That's level 9 farming. I can now plant guam, which is what that guy was asking for before. I don't have any guam seeds though, so I won't be able to do that just yet. I can plant cabbage now too, so I'm going to do that. The marigolds don't protect cabbage from disease, but I can pay Elston to protect them by handing over a sack of onions that I just grew. How convenient. I was on my way back to Bank at Falador and I was greeted by a skull with a postbag telling me Molly needed help. I don't know who Molly is, but I'm always here to help people, so I guess I'm checking it out. She tells me that she has an identical sister who is evil. She's managed to get her into a pen one room over, but a few others were brought in also. I'll have to identify which one is her sister and catch her with a mechanical claw. It all seems a bit convoluted, but now I'm invested in helping. I managed to catch the evil sister and Molly rewards me with 3 diamonds. Cha-ching! That will go a long way towards the house, with all the other loot I've been selling from the goblins. Okay, it looks like my cabbages are done. Let's harvest those. With those, I have level 10 farming, and I can plant the redberry bush in Rimmington. I'll be able to protect it with the farmer if I hand over a few sacks of cabbage. That's handy. So I've received a chef hat from a goblin that I killed. It's a nice bit of Fashionscape and a somewhat uncommon drop, one in around 43. Alright, well now I have 3 chef hats. Whenever I talk about a rarer drop, I get a bunch more. This is the clue scrolls all over again. I know what to do in future now. I'm back at the farm with more cabbages and a couple of quick levels. With level 12 farming, I can now plant tomatoes. The problem is that Olivia doesn't keep them in stock. If I want tomato seeds, I'd normally have to steal them from the stall or from farmers. Because I'm a good citizen, I won't be doing that. From time to time, I have however found piles of seeds just strangely on the ground, with no indication that they're stolen. I think I'll just have to wait around for something like that. So I'm selling the loot I've collected from the goblins and the loot from the wilderness. I have more than enough money to buy a house now, plus some money in the bank towards the bedroom expansion later. And just like that, I'm a landowner. Let's go check out this house. Okay, well, it's not much, but it's home, you know. I have my first visitor here at the house, and he's bought me a housewarming gift in the form of beer and kebab. How generous. Thank you, dwarf. Now, to start my construction grind, I'll have to begin by making chairs in the parlour. I have plenty of planks but no nails. I'll also need to get a saw before I can build anything, so here's the plan. The estate agent told me of a sawmill near Varrock that sells both nails and a saw. It's not nearby, but it'll have to do. So I know I collected all these planks, but the plan now is to get level 3 with construction by making chairs, then use the nearby mine to gather clay and make fireplaces with it until I get to level 20. To get into the Halloween spirit that Rimmington seems to have, I'll be collecting the pumpkin and planting that in my garden also. Let's get started. Okay, so let me show you the setup I'm using for fireplaces. First I need to head to the mine and collect an inventory full of clay. I then need to wet the clay, then build it into fireplaces, and then repeat. I'll keep doing this between farm runs. Okay, so now we can add the bedroom to our house. The problem is that I don't have 10,000 coins right now. I am working on it in the previous video by selling unstrung bows, so I'll have enough soon. Let's check out how the farm's going. The red berry bush is fully grown and ready. We can start to harvest from it. It is pretty poor experience though, so I think I'll just harvest it if I'm nearby, but otherwise I'll probably just harvest the other patches. So I was just completing a farm run and I killed another imp along the way. This one dropped a red bead. I'll hold on to it, but I don't know how much good they'll do us right now. We're so close to level 10 defense, so let's just get that one real quick. With 10 in attack, defense and strength, Adventurer John has some more gifts for us. We can sell the fish and potions for a bit of money and put it towards the bedroom costs. Let's get back to the farm. So now we have tomatoes ready. They are protected by the marigolds and they're decent experience, so that's handy. We'll eventually need a few baskets of tomatoes to protect the cadaverberry bush from disease. They can also eventually be used as payment for oak trees and unilian hops, so we'll keep a bit of a stash of them for later. We're still completing a few of our grinds from the last video while waiting for crops to grow, so let's get through those farming levels. While farming, we got a visit from a cat who tells us to come with him if we like fishing. We do like fishing, so we agree to go with him. He has other ideas, however, and intends to trap us on his island. Where am I? Take me to your leader. I'm not a slave, I'm a free man. So, how do we get out of here?
If you get him the fish he likes, he may fall asleep long enough for you to escape. The fish he likes are over there.
Stupid cat. Stupid fish. Why is this already cooked? Uncooking pot? What? Okay, just... Well, I'm glad that's over. Oh look, 5 fishing levels. Maybe it wasn't so bad after all. Okay, at this stage I have money to burn. I think we need to buy a plant cure just because now we can afford it. And that's level 22. Let's go plant the cadaverberry bush. And we'll pay to get that protected. Now we just have to wait. Let's go buy that bedroom. Okay, so with more than 10,000 gold in the bank, we can buy that bedroom. Let's decorate that a bit. I can put in a bed, shoebox, and a fireplace right now. The parlour is looking a little bare, so I'm going to go back to the bank and use some of the planks to set up some bookshelves. Let's light the fireplaces and have a seat. Now this is more like a home. It'll do for now, but I'll want to furnish it a bit when I can afford it. Now we just have to wait for that bush to grow. I saw another imp when I went to check on that bush. It dropped another bead. This one is yellow. This is weird now. Let's take them to Hetty and see if she knows what they are.
These are strange to be sure and slightly magical too. I can feel it.
Do you know what they might do?
I don't, but the wizards at the tower south of Draenor might. They don't like me very much, but they do know their stuff.
So I should check with them.
Yes, but you don't have much influence with them right now. Your magical abilities are, well, pretty mundane.
What can I do? Can you help me get any better with magic?
There is something I can do, a potion that will increase your knowledge of magic.
What ingredients do you need?
I'll need the tail of a rat, the eye of a newt, and a slab of burnt meat for this particular potion. Plus an onion for taste.
Sounds delicious. So I know where I can get a rat tail. Brian's shop seems to attract rats, so let's help him out in there. Rat tail acquired. Onion, easy. Check. I've seen larger rats near the shore. I could get a slab of meat from them. Anya and Hengel said I could borrow their scimitar. Meat, check. Hetty told me that there's a lady running a magic shop in Port Sarim that stocks eyes of newt. 3 gold. I'll be right back. Okay, check. Now to burn the meat and return the scimitar. Done. I have all the ingredients.
Hand them over then.
Is it ready?
Yes. Time to drink up.
You weren't kidding about the flavour. Let's go check on that cadaverberry bush. It's ready! And with that, we've completed every task for Rimmington. It's been nice getting to know and helping the villagers of Rimmington, but it's time to familiarise myself with a new area. I have the beads, my runes, and my hat. Please join me next time as we visit the Wizard's Tower.